بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. عن الزبير رضي الله عنه أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال: من أحب أن تسره صحيفته فليكثر فيها من الاستغفار. رواه البيهقي. Sayyidina Zubayr bin Awam radiallahu anhu narrated Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, whoever loves that his sahifa should please him, make him happy, then he should make abundance of istighfar in it. Your sahifa is your book of deeds, your record, which has your good deeds and your bad deeds. On the day of judgment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will have all the books of deeds for each individual presented to them. Those who are lucky ones, they will receive it in their right hand. And whoever will receive it in their right hand, they will immediately become happy. فَأَمَّا مَنْ أُوتِيَ كِتَابَهُ بِيَمِينِهِ فَسَوْفَ يُحَاسَبُ حِسَابًا يَسِيرًا وَيَنْقَلِبُ إِلَى أَهْلِهِ مَسْرُورًا. So whoever receives his book of deeds in his right hands will become happy, and they will know that they will have their reckoning easy. They will have easy hisab from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they will return to their families happy. And those who are miserable ones, they will receive their a'mal, their book of deeds, in their left hand. وَأَمَّا مَنْ أُوتِيَ كِتَابَهُ وَرَاءَ ظَهْرِهِ. So in one ayah it is left hand, in another ayah it is from behind the back, which is another humiliating practice. So they will be humiliated, and immediately they would know that they are doomed and they are done. So your book of deeds will record everything that you have done, that you have said here in this life. So if you want your book of deeds to please you, make you happy on the day of judgment, then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, فَلْيُكْثِرْ فِيهَا مِنَ الْإِسْتِغْفَارِ. Then do lots of istighfar. What is istighfar? It is to seek forgiveness from Allah, and it is to say astaghfirullah. You can say astaghfirullah, that's the easy way to make istighfar, and you can say it in your own language as well. Oh Allah, forgive me. Oh Allah, forgive me. Oh Allah, forgive me. Oh Allah, I seek your forgiveness. That's also seeking istighfar or seeking forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In another hadith, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Tuba liman wajada fi sahifatihi istighfaran kathira." Glad tiding is for that person who will find lots of istighfar in his book on the day of judgment. The Prophet ﷺ himself set the best example. He said, وَإِنِّي لَأَسْتَغْفِرُ اللَّهَ فِي الْيَوْمِ أَكْثَرَ مِنْ مِئَةَ مَرَّةٍ. In one narration, he said, in one day, I make istighfar to Allah more than 100 times a day. In another narration, he said, I make istighfar to Allah 70 times a day. Daily. How many of us make istighfar 100 times a day? Probably not even one of us. Mashallah.
Morning 100 and evening 100.
Mashallah. You are exempt from this. So, this is a reminder for all of us that we should make it part of our daily adhkar to make istighfar to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to say astaghfirullah at least 100 times a day. And it's not difficult to accumulate that at all. If you do maybe 15 times after each prayer, you have done 75 right there. And you just do 25 more before going to sleep, and that's 100. Or you can just make it separately 100 times all at once. Even that will not take that much time. But you can add istighfar to your habits while you're walking, while you are moving, while you're sitting and you're not doing anything else. Instead of wasting your time on watching reels or videos, make istighfar. Or at least if you see something bad, say astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah. Allah.